What's up, it's your boy Eno in the house again. Eno in the house for another little talk. Every now and then we gotta let off some sort of steam. This is my outlet. Like I said, I might have two people watching this, but hey, whatever. It's my outlet. Anything that gets you, whether it's stress, anxiety, whatever it is, self-esteem, that gets you to a point of peace, I feel like you should do it. Unless, of course, if it's legal and nobody's getting hurt by it. So, I talk, man. One of the Enos talks here, little prep talk. Hope you guys learned something. All right. What I'm talking about today is children. These privileged children this day and age. Oh, my gosh. I have 3. 14, 11. She turned 11 a couple days ago. And I have a 7-year-old. My mother had 5 children by the age of like 22. So I grew up differently in the 90s, early 90s. We didn't grow up around people getting shot and killed and stuff like that. We grew up all in the hoods and everything. But my mom kept us from those things. She always kept us in the house. We went to church, school. And if you did go outside, it'd be right in front of the house. Like, she didn't want us walking to any neighbors' homes or anything like that. Like I said, it was just really our backyard or our front yard. And we did that. We lived in hoods after hood. We basically moved every 2 years. So every 2 years, it was a different school, different teachers, different students. My introvert self, it takes me a long time to get to know somebody. So once I got to know somebody, boom, 2 years we gone. It used to suck for me mentally. I don't know how it affected my other siblings, but it used to affect me a lot. Because once again, I'm an introvert, so it took me a minute to warm up to somebody. And once I did, or even if it's a girl, I didn't have to move. All right, so we grew up once again with 5 kids, and my mother's 22, and she was married to my pops. My mother had 5 kids, all by the same guy. You know what I mean? He wasn't really there. He's doing his thing. They're young. Come on, think about it. I was thinking about this too. I said, man, I talked to my wife about this, and my wife been married for 14, going on 15 years, and I said, man, at the time we had 1 son, and I was 23. I said, imagine us having 5 kids right now. 5. She looked at me and said, oh, no way. I said, that's what my mother had to go through. 5 kids at 23 years old. I said, my goodness. 1 was enough for me. Crying and, can you help with this? Get up, help me get this bottle ready. I'm like, this is too much. 5? And she had us, after my first brother, the next 4, it was back to back to back. Like literally we 10 months or a year apart. It was literally back to back to back to back. So it's times where she had 2 babies. A 10-month-old and a newborn baby, at the same time. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So we grew up in the 90s, which was rough. You know what I mean? She did the best she could to take care of us. We all grew up. We all, I think right now, have decent jobs. And one of my brothers passed away of a mental illness. But the rest of 4 of us that are still alive, we all each have children. The children are doing fine. Everybody's doing good. My sister is a teacher. And I think she's a head teacher or a principal or dean, something in education, but very high. I became a police officer. My other brother, my oldest brother, worked in a warehouse, but he was doing pretty well in the warehouse. And my other brother has his own small, trucking business. So we're doing pretty good. I'm married. My sister's married. My younger brother is about to get married. My oldest brother just didn't get married at all. It's just, I guess it wasn't for him, but he had a daughter. His daughter's in college. So as far as I know, my mother, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for raising us the best way you could. Like I said, a lot of things that I didn't like, a lot of things that I can't get out of my head, but we're on the word privileged. And that's one thing that we wasn't privileged. We didn't have nothing to be privileged about, man. And we never said, well, we deserve this just because we did this. We got A's and B's, so should I get something? No, that's what's expected of us. My mother had us do chores. Like, we had to do chores. We did do chores. It was a privilege back in the 90s to go outside. Like, that was the funnest thing in the world, to go outside, to play with the other kids. Especially when we came home from school. That was a privilege. So she put us on punishment, and the punishment was you stay in the house, no TV, nothing. We'd be in the house twiddling our thumbs, biting our fingernails, fighting, arguing, because we was constantly in trouble. That was a privilege to go outside. This day and age, in 2023, my 14-year-old, my 11-year-old, my 7-year-old, I can't get them to go outside. When they go outside, my oldest son wants to go all over the place. All over girls' house, dudes' house, all this stuff in the house. And don't tell us where he's going. With no communication. We're like, this day and age, with all this stuff going on with these police and people blaming, I seen a black boy knocking on the door and he getting shot, all this stuff going on. We said, nah, we need to take your cell phone with you, tell us where you're going, blah, blah, blah. But he's privileged. He feels like, well, I get A's and B's. Shouldn't I be able to go outside? I get A's and B's. Shouldn't I be able to play the game when I want to? And we're like, no. That's what's expected of you, to get good grades. So if you don't, your butt be staying at home or staying after school. I'm going to take you away from football and basketball. What are you talking about? You know, privilege. There's such a privileged kid. My daughter just, oh my God, I love her. But she said, I guess it was, my wife threw a birthday party for her, and it was, of course, it's stressful because it was all girls, man, and my wife was all happy about it. It's her first one, she did it by herself without my help, and I was like, go ahead. She was happy about it, and I came home, and I said, so how'd it go? She said, everything went well until our daughter caught an attitude. And I said, what you mean? She's like, everything's going well, and I gave her friend some sort of, a contest we had, and I gave her just some sort of squeezy thing that she wanted. But I get to her friend, and she said she was mad for like 15, 20 minutes. She said it was so bad, I couldn't even take a picture. It's supposed to be a happy day, your birthday. She getting all this money and gifts, but this one little squeezy thing, she got so mad. She said she had a face, a squirtle face, and just like didn't want to talk to nobody. Was just mad the whole time for 15, 20 minutes. She said that really ticked me off. She said, you gonna get mad over something like that? She said, it's only $1. I could go to the dollar store right now and buy you another one. But that ain't the point. The point of it is your face got all ruined, and you got all ruined, and it was a privilege because it's my birthday, so I should get that. You could buy 70 of those balls. What those things was. And my wife said, I was just so mad. I said, it's a privilege. I said, she expected it. It's her birthday. I expected that everything goes my way. I expect that. After tell my daughter, put it down to, her 7-year-old self. Like, you're 11. Like, you're 11, right? Like, there's no privilege. You're acting privileged now. You got mad over something like that? Well, I just really wanted it. But you got mad over something like that? You expect us to do that for you? My son expected me to get him brand new shoes because he got A's and B's? No, I'm going to get you brand new shoes because you worked your butt off, not only in grades, but you came home and you've been a good son. So yeah, I'm going to buy you those shoes because of that. Not because I got good grades. No, I tell them all the time, it's constantly repetitive. I say, it's an all-around thing. Not only you're good at school, but you got to be good at home, too. You got to be respectful at home. Do your chores. I said the chores comes with your behavior and your education. Those 3 things, I could buy you whatever. But he just thinks that, well, I still got A's and B's. That doesn't mean nothing. That's for you. I said, those grades are for you. So hopefully one day you go to college. I said, but you got to work on these other things. Do your chore. Respect your mother. Respect her authority when she tell you to do something instead of, why I got to do that for? My friend don't do that. His mama don't give him, he don't have chores. I don't care what. It's so privileged, it gets so irritating to me. Like, they expect that they should get something. That's like, I don't know what's wrong with this generation. And sometimes I wish I could just go rewind, take my children, rewind back to my childhood, and just leave them. Leave them in that area of 1994 where I grew up at. Leave them about 6 months, and I come back. I want to see their faces if they're still alive. I want to see their faces. They could survive 6 months of my life. Because sometimes it's like, I don't understand. And as parents, we are some of us can be the problem because we knew how we was raised up. And we want to raise our children up better than what, how we was raised. It's understandable, but when you allow certain things to go too much, this can happen. You can have these privileged kids. So we're at a point in time right now, we're trying to talk to them, take things away from them, and have them really, really work for things, because this day and age, man, like their peers, all of them are privileged. The stories that I hear from our children, well, they do this and they do this and they do this, and they go to a nice suburban school. It's a really decent school. It's not a private school, it's still a public school, but it's one of the best schools in our town. And these kids, these parents are making these kids also privileged, driving these nice cars and all this stuff like that. And our kids looking at that like, ooh, why can't I have that? Why can't I have that? Because we don't have that type of money. That's one. And two, what are you going to do to take care of that? What do you think? Just because your friends have it and we live in the same neighborhood they got that, you're going to get it? It don't work like that. They get little scrawny little faces, go upstairs with the attitude. These privileged brats. So, I'm telling you right now, parents that are just having kids, or parents with kids are growing up, right now they seem out like little angels that smile in front of your face, and oh, they're so cute, and they got to grow up in this world. They got to grow up in this world facing. As a parent, make them work. Stop just giving them stuff. Normally it's the wife, though. Normally it's the wife that give them things. And normally it's the dad that gives the daughter things. Let them work. They will appreciate it way more. Let them work. All right? Keep God first. Always have faith. And let your kids work, man. Or else you're going to be going through the same thing I'm going through right now. Lesson learned. Out.